Hello and welcome to the Astro Vibe for the week of Monday, June 3rd. I'm coming in hot with the tarot card that I just pulled, and it is the Hermit. And what a wild card to get on this Gemini new moon week. And why is that? Because the Hermit is a Virgo rulership, and both Virgo and Gemini are ruled by the planet Mercury. So we're talking about mercurial energy big time. On Monday, Mercury moves into Gemini, and now we've got a whole bunch of planets bringing in all of this extra information, extra processing. Our minds are on overdrive, and this card jumped out so that we could find some grounding with all of this Gemini energy through the sign of Virgo. So I'm going to read you the Hermit. This is coming from the Voyager Tarot deck. And I'm going to hold it up, doing my best here. Okay. So this image is the Mayan death mask. So light, so nice. The Mayan death mask. The Mayan death mask is symbolic of the hermit who shuts out worldly distractions in order to complete her spiritual pilgrimage and temporal work. The hermit symbolizes the law of perfection. Work on becoming complete by uniting the highest states of attainment in the material and spiritual realms. To achieve this perfection, the Virgo hermit brings in health and harvest to the physical and the material life, which serves as the temple of spirit. Prudently close out diversions to complete your projects. Eat well and get plenty of rest. Go inward to the inner temple to gain self-knowledge and to live in union with the divine. By getting in touch with your higher self, you bring this power through your hands to create and to guide. Boom, the Hermit card. Distractions abound this week, coming in to sometimes take us outside of what might feel like the discomfort of massive growth and massive change. Anytime that we're on the precipice of change, anytime where there's shifting that's coming into our lives, we're going to feel that discomfort. We're going to feel like we're in unknown territory. We're going to feel like not completely comfortable. And it is so common that in that space, we might cope with distraction. We might look outside of ourselves or escape however we can. Neptune in Pisces at 29 degrees, learning lessons about escaping and not confronting what is in front of us that needs to be and wants to be dealt with. So this week comes with an interesting mix of abundance through Jupiter Gemini, good luck through Jupiter Gemini, which is the mind, through support with Jupiter Gemini, while simultaneously getting some reality bites through Saturn and some deep-seated psychological truths being revealed through Pluto that actually came in last week and is just being carried into this week. And a lot of people that I know right now are going through massive life changes that are coming through an awakening process where they're having realizations about what they will no longer settle for. They're having realizations about the kind of life they want to live. They're having realizations about what's important to them. Sometimes it's coming from the inside out. Sometimes things are leaving and releasing from the outside where they're not making the choice, but spirit decides and they enter this new chapter. So we've been going through this spiritual detoxification process where what's not aligned and what's too heavy to carry and what's no longer part of our journey is sort of being like plunged up. If you've ever had a clogged toilet, the plunger has been coming, Pluto, the plunger has been coming and like suctioning up the gunk that has been keeping us like stuck and without flow and without being able to access our clarity or without being able to access our joy. And this energy of Gemini is about having an open channel. Most people don't know this. Most astrologers don't even talk about this, but the symbol of Gemini, the glyph, is these two lines with a top and the bottom. And what they really do is they make a doorway. They step us into the unknown. They step us into this new space of consciousness. And when this doorway, this channel, if you will, is clear, the Gemini energy has access to downloads from above. It can literally bring in frequencies, information, new information that we've never accessed before, realizations and clarity through this clear channel. And the distractions that this Hermit card is coming in and saying, hey, distractions might be here. Do your best to use discernment of what is actually for you and what's not for you. And those distractions might also be coming through your mind, your critical mind, your inner critic, your shadow self. So this is a really important time to be able to use our discernment to sort of flesh out what is important for us to focus on, to put our mindset in this, RAS, your reticular activating system, in your mind. When we put our focus on something, we're going to see more of it in the external world. So making sure that the mind is clear and being fleshed out of any toxic stuff that might have come in. Okay, now on June, where are we? We're June 3rd. We have also Mercury making a conjunction with Jupiter. Now, Mercury conjunction with Jupiter is almost like if you use it the right way, it's almost like a new moon in of itself. And we have an actual new moon where the sun and the moon come into alignment on June 6th, on Thursday, early Thursday morning of this week. But on, Monday of this week, there is another portal that's being opened where we have an opportunity to get clear about what we want. And what might happen is when you get clear about what you want, you also see what you don't like. And you also see what might be uncomfortable. Or you may even be thinking about situations that you have moved through and seeing them in a totally new light. Being able to tell a new story about them. Being able to step into an empowered perspective, an empowered story. Being able to know that you are in the driver's seat of your life. And that's a funny thing to say when we're talking about Gemini energy because it's mutable. So it's actually very adaptable and it goes with the flow, and that's part of the distraction. It's like, oh, I could do this or I could do that. I could think about this or I could think about that. But this energy actually wants us to focus, which is not a Gemini word, y'all, like at all. It is not a Gemini word. So as we practice this grounding in such an air time, like, woo, there's so much going on externally and most likely internally. What is it that you must do in your spiritual practice or your discernment practice that will bring you into a space where you can focus, where you can actually focus? Because is that other stuff even really important to you? Does it even matter? And sometimes things can hook into us that aren't really important to us. We might feel like they're, part of us when they're not. So we're like taking out these hooks that aren't really for us and aren't really important to us, and we're getting really focused. And the more focused, the better, because we've got the new moon in Gemini on June 6th. And this new moon in Gemini is also conjunct Venus in Gemini. That is a really beautiful alignment. Like, wow, Venus, the planet of love, Venus, the planet of what you want and what you value and what your heart's desires, is conjunct the new moon, meaning that there's a channel of magnetism that we can pull in of our heart, of what we deeply desire. And it takes some of the hooks unhooking and moving through some limiting beliefs or old stories that are not in alignment with what it is that you really do want to focus on and what your soul is calling for right now. Because in this astrology, there's also a connection to the soul. The soul is coming through. The soul is speaking to us. The soul is asking for more attention and more truth, more authenticity, more realness. And it might be easier to feel in our physical bodies, even if we tune in, what is a frequency that's not aligned with our frequency and what we really want. Okay, so this new moon is conjunct Venus in Gemini, and this is a really good time also for conversations to happen, for honest conversations. Things may come to the surface. Pluto's in the mix right now, talking to Jupiter, and Saturn is also about to come in and have a real reality, like bringing us into reality with the sun as the week goes on. So as we get closer to the new moon, we're also going to feel more of Saturn's energy, which can feel like pressure, like we're being asked to take really responsible steps in our life. And what might happen through that is a major blessing is we get access to our subconscious stuff. And though it may feel uncomfortable, that is the place that I was referring to earlier when I said you're at this precipice of change, you're in a space of transformation, you're in a space of growth, and in that space, discomfort arises. When you know that there's a conversation that's important to have, some of us really feel that in the throat, in the heart, where we might feel like restriction or tension. And this Gemini energy, which is about conversation and speaking and communication, is calling us to let that stuff out. So important conversations, especially in relationships or friendships, are bound to come through, and this is the astrology for it. So if you've got something to say, if you've got something on your chest or in your heart that you're like, okay, I know that if I talk about this, I'm going to release some of the tension in my own body and it will move through. I always say emotion breaks down to emote, and emote stands for energy. Mote is motion, energy in motion. Now, if we just hold on to it and stuff it, it stays stuffed, and it eventually will actually make us sick. So this is a very good, I'm just seeing this week as a gentle detoxification, because our psychological revelations are coming up, like the toilet being unclogged, or you're pouring Drano down your shower drain, the things are clogged, things are being unclogged. That Gemini is the channel or a pipe to the divine energy, to divine frequencies, to our third eye, to our inner vision. There's psychic energy available here, and what has to happen, we got to take out what's not important. We have to release or Drano the the blockages. When you're feeling stuck, when you're feeling met, when you're feeling down, something is in there that wants to be released. So it's really important to take your time this week and ask yourself, what's in service to my highest self? What kind of conversations are in service to my future self? What kind of conversations are in service to my heart and my truth? Gemini in physical astrology is the shoulders and the arms and the palms of the hands. Hello, remember in the Hermit, they were saying bring healing through the palms of your hands. And the palms of the hands in the chakras actually correlate to your heart chakra. So even though Gemini physically ruled is shoulders, arms, palms of hands, energetically we're talking heart. And then we're also energetically talking about our voice and speaking our truth into reality and having difficult conversations or exciting conversations, but whatever it is, conversations are happening. That might mean that you grab your magic wand, your pen, your pencil, your marker, whatever it is, and journal on what you really want. This is a potent week for it. When Saturn comes in on June 8th and squares Venus, that is when we have an opportunity to get this reality check, where what we really want, what our hearts desire, takes some elbow grease. Saturn wants us to take action in a disciplined way. Saturn is the shouter in the outer space of discipline. Take discipline action. I know you don't want to do it. I know it's hard. I know you're tired, but when you stick to your rituals and you stick to your disciplined routines, whatever you like to call it, that's when progress is made. Progress doesn't happen overnight. It is a daily, one foot in front of the other, making adjustments as you go and doing the kind of things that keep you aligned with your higher self. So as I speak, I'm just getting this overwhelming, obvious message that there's got to be in each of our lives. Some people call them routines. I call them rituals. Rituals in place that are going to keep us on our path. Whether that is waking up in the morning and writing about what you're grateful for, taking 5 minutes to journal on everything you're grateful for, to get connected to your higher self, to get connected to the positive insight and the positive vibrations that live inside of you, or whether it's doing yoga when you wake up in the morning or waking up and drinking a ton of water. It's like, if you are waking up and going on Instagram or going on your phone and scrolling, you're damaging your ability to connect to your higher self. You're damaging your brain. Stop it. Turn that phone on airplane mode and take time in the morning to give yourself some space. That's just the message that's coming through. What is your, it's like morning hygiene. It's like you brush your teeth, right? Because your teeth overnight are covered with grit and grime and they get kind of nasty and you're like, ugh, gotta brush my teeth, right? It's an easy one. What's something that you might not realize could be adjusted that's going to give you a better outcome for the rest of your day? Especially, we're coming towards the summer solstice and the sun is a major theme right now. The sun gives us health, the sun gives us energy, the sun gives us life. So the daytime and those morning hours, I'm just getting as a message right now, are crucial, and they're part of that discernment that the Hermit card is bringing us. Okay. Amazing. All right. So this week it's a wild one. I feel like I'm holding on, hold on to your hats. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, but we definitely know that there is truth that's being revealed. And as that truth gets revealed, we get to reposition ourselves onto the track that feels right for us. It's like I'm thinking about Hot Wheels. Like I used to have all these Hot Wheels cars when I was a kid. I played with Hot Wheels, not Barbies. And like, if I was going too fast on my track, my Hot Wheels car would go right off the track and I would want to put it back on, and go around the track again. So it's like noticing if we get off the track and what simple adjustment can we do to get back on the track. And, that track is connection to our soul, connection to our divinity, connection to our love, connection to, knowing how worthy we are of our longings and our deepest heart's desires. That is Venus. And Venus is on fleek this week. Venus is like Venus is talking to us. What we want, what we want, that's Venus. She is calling us up. She's like, girl, what's what you really want? And go get it. All right. I love you. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a beautiful, prosperous, abundant week where the Drano goes down all the right pipes and all the energy, all the good juju moves through you like magic. I love you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Last message, I have one more thing to share. Wednesday in Abracadabra Astrology and on the Star Tribe, we will be celebrating this new moon in Gemini, and we will be doing breath work. Gemini is the breath and working with the portals of the arms to move any stagnant energy through. You can sign up on Arquetta to come to that. And if you are interested in learning how to use your birth chart to follow your true path and your purpose, click the link below to learn more about that. We are in open enrollment. So when you feel the call, it is the time. All right, that's it for Real Real. Have a beautiful, beautiful, amazing week and new moon, and I will see you on the other side.